Welcome to the 18th episode of the Influential Wellnesspreneur podcast. My name is Sebastian Hilbert and I'm the Wellnesspreneur expert. I help wellness business owners to reach their ideal clients with an effective online presence sustainably and genuinely. Today, I'm really excited to have Michael Griffiths, the Referral Marketing Guru. And when I say guru, he is a guru. I've seen a lot of things about him, from him, delivered by him, and there's really great stuff. So I'm really excited to have him here today. So quickly, let's say hello. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Yeah, doing great. Thank you very much. Very excited to be with you guys.
Fantastic. So good to have you here. For everyone who doesn't know Michael yet or needs to a little reminder, Michael has created 7 businesses in his career and sold 6 of them in just the past decade. He's quickly become the #1 authority on referral and partnership marketing around the globe. Michael has been featured in the Huffington Post, SkyNews, FlyingSolo. I've seen him first on the Key Person of Influence, an event that I visited 5 years ago. So again, amazing to have him here. It's coming around. And also has been featured on The Entourage as well, just to name a few. He loves teaching people and businesses how to build referral teams, use their networks more effectively, and get partners to fill sales funnels for you. To prove this, Michael has actually worked with over 13,500 people. Now that's a big number, and definitely referrals have been a big part of that, I'm sure. And he will share some of his expertise today with us. Michael actually generates over 135 leads per day in his own business, obviously with his team, but he's doing that without paying a cent on marketing. Now, he clearly loves to show others how to do the same because he believes that if you are part of any networking group, referral group, or association, then you're leaving 70% of the opportunities on the table. Well, that's a hell of a lot. So let's ask him how he's doing that. But before we get into it, I want to know, as usual, Michael, what is the story behind that? I know you started, or you have been a teacher for a while. So how did it get from back there to where you are now?
Yeah, lovely. And when you say that, it feels like it's ages ago. But started off as elite level basketball coach. So coaching basketball since I was 10, representative basketball, playing state basketball down in Victoria, 3 knee reconstructions, saw me just concentrate on coaching. So when we moved to New South Wales, coached the state team, been at national league level, coached collegiate level over in the USA. So I thought coaching was always going to be my life. Easiest way to be an elite level coach is to be a teacher at the same time because the hours allowed you to train beforehand and before school and after school. So it all fitted in nicely. I had the grand plan already all worked out. Only problem was I didn't realise how bored I'd be and how tired I'd get of other lazy teachers. So give me my 30 kids and let me just teach absolutely perfect. Have to make me attend stupid, boring meetings and fill in paperwork for the sake of it, and have other people who were supposedly there for the benefit of the kids just do absolutely nothing until they finally got to retire. And yeah, I got tired of that. So that's where the change came. And we went, well, you've either got 40 more years of putting up with this or go do something different. And hence we went off and we started pretty much creating businesses by mistake. If you said 10 years ago that we'd be here as the #1 authority teaching referral marketing all around the globe and visiting London as we do in 2 weeks' time, and then over to LA in about 6 weeks' time, and then back to Sydney for our guys, and I would never have pictured that. Never would have imagined it whatsoever. So each little business, tutoring business to start off with, and again, grew that through partnering with a netball association. And before we knew it, we had nearly 400 odd families and got bought out and off we went. Health products, mineral makeups, everything we've done business-wise has always grown really quickly because we've leveraged into other people's networks and grown through partnerships. So when we sold the marketing agency back in 2013, we went, we've actually got to just teach people not how to do SEO or pay-per-click or Facebook ads or all those things that really the only person making money on that is the person who's charging you. Let's teach them how to actually get business with all the people they've already got around them. They don't need to rely on a platform. They don't need to rely on the next fancy widget. They just have to use what has always worked for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades, relationship marketing. Use the networks, the people, the things you've got around you, but do it in such a structured and processed way that A, it's easy, B, it's fun, and C, you can actually generate as many opportunities, leads into your leads bucket a day. And whether you want 10, 15, 20, great. Whether you just want 1 or 2, perfect, because it's just about turning the tap up on the activities or down on the activities. So that's sort of been the journey for now. When you think we started the first business in 2009, that's nearly 10 years ago. And 10 years before that of being a primary school, high school math teacher. And I still go, probably the kids are easier to teach than the adults that we have right now, but that's the joys. I think teacher, trainer, always at heart, and trying to give people a skill set that allows them to make a bigger impact and be able to help more people. And I think something that we can do really well is just give people the opportunities for them to make a greater impact within their local area, their little world. And the more people that we get to help do that, the more they get to make an impact. And before we know it, the world's a better place. And that's probably our bigger vision and mission to why we do what we do.
Yeah, fabulous. I can really feel and hear the passion in your voice there, Michael, from the coaching point of view, but also simply for a little bit going back to the basics, I guess, not thinking so much about the digital stuff. And we always have this get a feedback from our clients, the digital overwhelm. And that's probably because we're always chasing the new latest widget, as you just said, instead of really thinking, okay, what's the real core of a business? And I think the referrals and the relationships is really what is there at the core, isn't it?
Yeah, no, exactly right. Why do people come to see you guys? They come because they know you, like you, trust you. Why do people then go out and talk about you? Because they know you, like you, trust you. Why would someone at another local business around you, another health professional or another cafe, restaurant, sporting club, school talk about you? Because they know you, like you, trust you. It just comes back to 3 simple words. Get known, get liked, and get people to trust you. And when you do that, good stuff always happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So now I also know that you, because I've obviously looked you up a little bit more intensely over the last couple of days for the interview today, that you have, for instance, a personal website called michaelgriffiths.com. Is it .com or .com.au? .com?
.com.au. I'm trying to get the .com, but the importers, exporters at michaelgriffiths.com, who do absolutely nothing, but just have a website that they don't want to give me. So it's .com.au.
Okay, so I know this website is a good website. It looks great. You know, it really shows what you're about and what you're doing and really well. But you also have a website for your referral business or referral marketing guru.com.au.
Yep.
And so we just talked about, you're lots about referrals, and that's obviously about the relationship. So where does a website or even websites in your case do fit in this process?
Yeah, so people are still going to hear your business name, hear your name, and they're going to go and do their own research. People do. People don't want to sort of put themselves out there, especially the introverted more people. They want to sort of go and be able to do a bit of their own research, bit of their own looking around, a bit of making sure that they're feeling safe before someone's going to reach out. So it's certainly still relevant, and you certainly still need an online place for people to find you. So I don't believe websites are certainly as relevant today as what they used to be. I think people, we talk about all the time to our guys that it's about collecting data. So give someone something of value, and then in exchange, you can collect their information. And obviously, they're a fairly warm, serious person that you can then enhance the relationship with, build trust with, and eventually be able to offer solutions. So I think standalone landing pages or a pop-up box on a website is more relevant these days. But at the same time, if someone hears your name, or you happen to be going to, let's just say you're going to a local event, and someone meets you and they're going to go and put your name into Google, you still want to be present and you still want to be able to show up. So that's certainly why we have different sites. Some people just hear Michael Griffiths and type that in. Others will hear Referral Marketing Guru and type that in. So it's just making sure that no matter how someone wants to find you, you're giving them that opportunity to find you.
Yeah, and interestingly, with that SEO, actually, because whole search engine optimization thing actually becomes almost irrelevant, because at that stage, people will type in exactly your name or the thing that you wanted to be known for, and then automatically, like the first 5 or 6 hits, like with you, for instance, what I did, I typed in Michael Griffiths, and the first few hits were all about the way it was your LinkedIn profile, your personal side, your business side, twice. So I have all the information right there. Yeah. And that's I guess what you want to achieve. But let's go back quickly to your story, Michael. What were some pivotal points, like in this whole creating business, selling business? What were some like biggest issues you had, like struggles you had to overcome to succeed?
Yeah, and I don't think that's ever going to stop, as much as I'd love to say that one day that might stop, because as you grow, you bring in a new set of challenges, and you bring in a level that you haven't experienced before. So I think you're always going to try things, fail at things, adjust things, tweak things, and I think that process will never stop. So allowing that to actually be okay is probably the real big first lesson, that you're not going to eventually wake up one day and go, it's perfect, I'll stop now. Because as you bring on the next lot of clients, if you've gone to a different level, then you need teams around, because you can't be doing everything yourself. How do you trust other people, and how do you ensure that you're being a leader for them to then be able to do their own leadership for the people around them? So there are, so many lessons. So if I just picked a couple, I would certainly be going that probably a big one. It's better to get stuff done than having all the ducks in a row. So many people are, I'm not going to do it until I've done this or this or this or this, where I'll put something out, it won't be perfect, and then we'll continue to fix it. So I prefer to do that and just get something done and then tweak and change and fix it, rather than what most people would do is, well, I'm not going to be able to show that or put that out or do that until we get it 100% right. Well, the thing is, you're never going to get it 100% right, because as you evolve as a person, how you would do it is going to evolve also. We got this simple little recording, and it's like, the first one was 30 minutes. It's now 38 minutes. I really actually only want it to be 15 or 20 minutes. And I've done this recording, I reckon, at least 7 times over the last 2 years. And funny enough, it was actually just this morning, and I was sort of cycling away at the gym this morning, and it just hit me. And I went, you're actually just not even talking about the right stuff. So within 10 minutes there of cycling, I just took notes verbally into my phone of how I needed this video to actually be. So now we're going to do it sometime in the next 2 days for the 8th time. And it probably won't be the final time. So I think that's a huge lesson. Don't wait till things are perfect. Just do things and then allow things to evolve as you evolve, because you're not going to be the same person in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, 18 months' time. You just can't be. So that would be one. Don't wait till the ducks get in a row. Second one, be more trusting. It amazes me how many people don't build teams or don't allow other people to do things because they feel they're the only ones that can do it, and they're the only ones that are going to get it done to a particular level. Well, that's fine, and that might be the case. But if you're like that, you're never going to be able to do anything else other than exchange your hours for money. Like, to think that we can nicely in 2 weeks, we go off to London for 3 weeks. One of our program managers comes over and meets us in LA after that for another couple of weeks, and then we're home. You can't do that sort of stuff where you can just turn off your calendar if you don't have great people around you doing those sorts of things for you. And for that to happen, you've got to be more trusting. I say all the time how brilliant our team is. Well, it's not luck. When you empower them and you tell them that they're brilliant and you set them up for success, they're going to be brilliant. But if you're internally not believing that they're going to be brilliant and you've got problems with them, or are they doing the right thing, or do I have to, I'm going to micromanage them, or I'm going to put software on the computer to see what they're doing and so forth, well, you're never going to get a good team, because the problem's not the team, the problem's with you. So that would be a huge second lesson. You've got to be more trusting, not only of your team, but the people you've got around you if you're going to be successful with relationship marketing. Third one, I don't think we do a good enough job as a whole in creating more opportunities for each other. So we seem to be so focused internally on our own stuff that we don't look outside the square to how we could collaborate, create win-wins, do things with one another. Like a simple example again, just shot off someone a happy birthday message, haven't spoken to them for a good 5-6 years, and they're absolutely killing it right now. He sort of put a sticker back that just said, thank you. And most people just leave it there and think nothing of it. All right, nah, pleasure. Hey, do you want to jump on a podcast interview with us? And came out, yeah, that sounds great. And you can jump on ours too. Right? Perfect. You've only got about 10 million followers. What a great opportunity compared to my 20-odd thousand. So I'm winning in that. But that most people don't take opportunities or create opportunities. They just stay in their own little square and own little box, where if they just thought a little bit more outside of the box and just got themselves away from working on the business so much, in the business so much, they would come up with so many more opportunities. So they're probably the big three.
That's fantastic, Michael. And I think the second one kind of goes with the third one, because if you don't be trusted with your team, then you also have trouble to trust someone else to bring in or collaborate, because they're even further removed from your business. So I really like that lesson, like be trusty and use this to, like, in your team, to free more time, so then you can do more stuff on the business and collaborate with more, which then will and grow everything. So really like that. And I actually just this morning, last evening, I was looking at my calendar for the week, and I was like, oh my God, that's looking like the craziest week I had for like ever. I think, because we're just kind of hitting a growth phase with our business, and I was like, God, there's all these things to do. How do I do that? And I just got stressed. And then I just started talking to my partner, and Teresa was my partner in business and life. And I was like, oh my God, there's this brilliant person right on my side. And all I was thinking, how can I get it done myself, instead of simply talking to her? And she's like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. And I was like, oh, all of a sudden, all these tasks were gone. So I really love, as you said, think about the people that are around you and use them as opportunities. This is a perfect segue, Michael, to go into referral marketing. And we wanted to talk about today a little bit about how the 3 keys you said to get new referrals in your practice or wellness business. Now, I know some of my clients that struggle with just getting testimonials, asking for testimonials, let alone asking for referrals. So they have like an inner fear about the whole thing, asking for this. Now, that's obviously a big part of that. So let's start with that. Where do you think does that come from, and how do I kind of change my mindset there a little bit?
Yeah, and I don't even think when you go through what we talk about and how we do it, it's not even about asking. It's about creating win-wins. And if you're creating win-wins, then all of that just disappears, because it's not that I feel like I'm taking from you and doing nothing for you, which is where the asking stumble block comes from, because you feel like you are taking rather than giving. And especially most people in the health world, well, they're all about giving. That's why they're in that world, because they're great givers and they see their roles as helping other people. So if I started then asking for referrals, hold on, I'm not giving anymore, I'm taking. So there's a huge mismatch straight away internally with what's going on. So everything we talk about, and we'll get through these, but we talk about building your referral teams with other people who have the same clientele that you have, using your networks more effectively, and your current patients, your past patients, your prospects, they're all part of your networks. So rather than going to a current patient and say, oh, we did a great job, would you mind finding me, go and telling your friends and family, there's no need to do that. And we'll get into how you can get them to help you without actually asking them. And then the last thing is more around creating leverage and cross promotions, and seeing how you can get into places that have all of your clients at once, rather than having to go one by one by one by one, which is very slow and very painful. Right? So the very first thing is, most people go, oh, the only way I can get clients, especially in the health world, the only way I can get clients is get my clients to refer me or talk to doctors. Well, GPs are the worst referral people going around. They're like accountants in the financial world. Mortgage brokers, financial planners, lawyers straight away go, oh, I just have to find an accountant and all my referral needs will be fixed up. No, the accountants are hopeless at passing referrals, except for the top couple percent that actually get it. Well, GPs are the same. Right? So I don't even focus on GPs. There are so many other places which you could be getting referrals from as a health professional. For most health professionals, you're in a 5, 10, 15 kilometre radius. That's where most of your people come from. So ask yourself, who else sells to my person, my patient? Where else does my patient go? Are there particular cafes, restaurants, sporting clubs, gyms, personal trainers they use? What other health professionals do they use? Straight away, we've got 6 sources just there. And we haven't even talked about GPs. So when you start thinking like that, where else does my person spend money? All of a sudden, all of those people are referral sources. So I'd actually ask your patient, hey, if I just said 3 places which you spend money at, what would you tell me? And you might see that everyone actually buys coffee from the person 2 doors up, or everyone happens to go to this particular rock climbing facility that is in your neighborhood, or they all happen to use this particular health professional which is complementary to you rather than somebody who competes with you. There's referral sources. You don't even have to now ask your clients for referrals. You just leverage into their networks for them to be able to pass your referrals. So you just simply would, let's just say, for example, it's a organic food shop. Okay, people who come to you, they enjoy living a healthy lifestyle, and that's why they come to you also. So the organic health food shop, they have something on their counter that promotes you, and you have something on your counter that promotes a organic food shop. You are now passing each other business. Right? When somebody in the organic food shop says, oh, I've really got a problem with XYZ, they go, oh, well, in fact, the person who does a great job of that in our local area is, and they mention your name, and vice versa. So when you build up 6, 10, 12 of those sorts of people, all of a sudden now you are being spoken about within the local area, and therefore you just have to get more exposure. Right? So what I tend to go in terms of direct referrals, look for referral partners rather than rely on referrals from your clients. Because even if you had a new business and you might only have 10, 15, 20 clients, well, to get 10, 15, to get one referral each from those 10, 15, 20 clients might take you the course of a year. that's a very slow way of building a business. Where if you use these partners who then see 200, 300, 500 people a week type of thing, you can see how you get a lot more exposure a lot faster. Right? So that's key number one. You've got to build your own referral teams and be able to find referral partners who sell to the same person you sell to, and you don't compete with one another.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't know where the next 2 points are going, but I really would love to know, how do you think could be, let's say we do a brochure in a local health food shop, for wellness business owners, that would be perfect. What would a brochure like this look like? Is it like, just the traditional brochure, look all the things that we do? Or do you have a different approach on that?
Yeah, good. Certainly do. And don't ever, and this is the mistake that health professionals in particular make, personal trainers in particular make this, that you don't offer discounts. You don't offer free trials. You don't offer anything that is free. There is not a need. What you do is just simply go headline of how you can help, some bullet points, and then put a link where they can go and they can get something of value. So you might have, Sebastian, just give me one business. Just give me a person you work with.
An osteopathic clinic in Canberra, who offers actually a 3-step method to move freely without pain.
Great. So that flyer is promoting that free tool. So therefore, then you can get them onto your database. You can then nurture, you can then enhance your relationship and show them how you could help them. By doing it that way, you're going to get a bigger percentage of people who actually will take that opportunity. So therefore, you've got a bigger pool to sell to. Where if instead they just went, do you have pain? We fix boom, 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 boom with a phone number. Well, the only person that's going to do that is someone who needs an immediate solution right now. That doesn't mean that they're not going to have pain in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And because now you have their information and you are nurturing and giving them value all the time, who's the logical choice when they realize that they actually need to fix the pain that they've got? So to me, the mistake that people make with those sorts of simple little cross promotions, leaving flyers, is they try to sell. Well, there's only 0.5% of people out there who actually need your solution right now. So therefore, you're never going to get any traction with that. You're better offering something of value in which you can then nurture and enhance the relationship with those people over time so that you become the logical choice.
Perfect. Very good. Answered the question perfectly, and I think that's what I believe in as well. And it's a bit like people may have heard of blue ocean and red ocean, right? So competing in the red ocean with those small percentage of people who want something right now, as in going to like an opportunity, breaker opportunities in a blue ocean where you have different ways of approaching people and giving something of value for kind of a long-term thinking.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, exactly right. So the second one then, which we don't tend to do a good job of, is using our networks. So you've all got networks. Everyone that is on your social media platforms, everyone that is in your CRM, everyone that is in your phone, everyone that's been a patient, everyone that's a prospect, everyone that is currently a patient, they're all part of your networks. And the thing is that they all have networks themselves. So when you think about it, let's just go, I know 250 people. Good. They're my A network. I know them myself. I could send them a message and we know each other. But each one of those 250 people also know 250 people each. So here I am. I know Sebastian. Sebastian knows another 250 people who I don't even know who they are. And I could get doors open to those people through Sebastian. By having a good relationship there, by being able to find ways to help one another, we get to leverage into one another's networks. So let's think about this from your perspective as a local business. So you have all these patients who come in. They have neighbours, they have friends, they have family, they run into people at the shops. Now, if we're not staying front of mind of those people, adding value to those people, nurturing those people, we're missing out on opportunities of having 250 walking billboards in our local community. Imagine that everyone was just out there being a walking billboard, holding up a sign saying, go to your clinic. Business is just going to be absolutely out of control.
So I guess
what could happen.
I guess you're not saying print 1,000 billboards now.
No, I'm not saying that. Let's say, let's better understand that the person you're about to go and see, or the person you have just seen, is part of your network. And they also have a network of people around them. So when they're out there having a chat with the neighbour, and the neighbour says, we'll use the Canberra example again, oh, I've had sore knees for ages now. Well, you want the person who's seeing you to go, oh, well, in fact, I actually see these great people. You should pop in and see them too. For most of your businesses, that's not happening. And it's not happening not because you don't have lots of people around you, because you don't have a process or plan to stay front of mind of your businesses. I think a great thing we did, Scarborough Physio up there in Redcliffe, Brisbane, northern beaches, northern suburbs. And when we did some stuff with them, we said, hey, you need your own VIP Facebook group. Every single patient has to go in there. And then you encourage every single patient to invite their friends, family, and neighbours. Well, all of a sudden, they've got a group of nearly 800 people. And in the group, they add value and they share things about their other referral partners. And do you think they're now not completely booked out? They've put on another 3 people and they're still completely booked out. And it's just simply because they're using their networks more effectively. So think about, how do you use your networks effectively in that, great, or you have all these patients and your patients are on your social media. And when you post a video of how a quick 2-minute stretch that's going to relieve calf pain, and then 10 of your people like it, and some of them comment on it, and some of them tag their friends into it because they know they've got calf pain, and a couple of them share it, all of a sudden now, you've just created more exposure to people you didn't even know existed, thanks to your current network and your current clients. That's how you can get your clients to refer without having to ask, oh, do you happen to know anyone who's got calf pain? Well, they're not going to say yes to that, because realistically, it's not a question that they were ready to answer. So that's a nice, simple little way that I think, in particular, health professionals could utilize better and really start utilizing their networks more effectively.
Perfect. I like how you said, always kind of come back, especially with social media and the online stuff. It's all about staying in front of mind until someone is ready to take a next step in whatever you have laid out in front of them.
Yeah, correct. And we say this to our partnership club guys all the time. It's like 85% of people who are around you now, they're not ready to buy. 15% are. And your job is in the marketing, is to get more people around you. And then your job in the selling is to get the people who are ready for that solution to raise their hand and say, I'm ready for the solution now. And we confuse far too often marketing with selling and selling with marketing. They're two very distinct things. And again, marketing is to bring people around you who at one stage have either need your solution or think they need your solution, but 85% of those people aren't going to be ready to buy right now. So therefore, selling is all about getting the people who are around you to raise their hand saying, yes, I am ready for that solution right now. And you've got to be doing both.
Very good. Very good. It's just something that popped into my mind, and I don't know if you were wanting to talk about this, but I remember you were teaching something that's called a referral sheet. Do you remember what I mean? And you basically had a sheet where you write down what your business is about, what your partners should look out for that others say that could be there could be a potential for your business.
Yeah.
And then one big part of it was also think about things or get to know someone so you can actually thank them properly.
Yeah, nice. I'm pretty sure we're referring to our referral training manual.
I think that's probably right. Yeah.
So that's a document that we create. It's about 8 pages where we sit down and we train our referral partners on how to be a great referral partner and how to be able to find more referrals for us. Because again, the problem that most people don't actually even understand is they go, oh, let's be referral partners. And then they sit back and they hope that the other person can go find them referrals rather than actually training them on how to be a great referral partner for them.
Very good. So
love it.
I just remembered because it worked quite well for me for a couple of times, and especially the part where you thank someone. So I had actually for a local community group, I recently did it. They were another community group was referring to us, and we put a hamper together to give it back to the team, thanking for the referrals they've given us, and use this opportunity to tell them why these referrals were good for us and why they worked that well. And
nice.
For 5 weeks, we didn't get anything. Then we put out the hamper, and 2 weeks later, we got another referral from them. So it's a beautiful way that works really well. Do you know? Can you share another nugget of gold that someone can do when it comes to using the network that we already have, but it's not online?
Yeah, and I don't think it matters whether we're online or offline. The first key thing is front of mind. So you need to find ways to be more front of mind of your network. So whether that's shooting them an email, whether that's shooting them a text message, whether that's doing a handwritten card, we just have to constantly be more front of mind of people. Right? So the second part of being front of mind is to create conversations. And we use our personal engagement plan where it's sending how are you emails, doing how are you phone calls, how are you social media messages, and how are you handwritten cards. And the whole purpose of that is to simply personal engagement with our networks to create conversations with them. It's really hard to be forgotten when they're talking to you. Right? So that's, again, doesn't matter whether it's online, offline, just constantly think, how do I stay front of mind of my network and how do I personally engage with my network? Because then that's when you're going to continue to be remembered. And when you're being remembered, you're also going to be spoken about. And that's the key to that. Perfect.
Yeah. Did you have the third key? I mean, we talked about the first two, and I got even more out of you by asking. But do you remember what you said? I wanted to say the third key.
So our third circle. So our first circle is referral teams. Our second circle is networks. Our third circle is partnerships. So partnerships is a little bit different to referral teams. In your referral team, you've got people who you're going to find to pass referrals to each other backwards and forwards on an ongoing, hopefully forever basis. Partnerships is more around how do you build your audience quickly and how do you leverage into new networks. So for example, here you are, you've got your local business. Go create a partnership with a sporting club. Go create a partnership with a school. Go create a partnership with an after-school activity where also your people go to. So when I think of our tutoring business, the first thing we did, and you said it was by mistake to start with, was there's a netball association. I was still teaching at the time, and watching some of our kids play that Friday sort of late afternoon. And there were 34 courts and thousands of families. I mean, we're just going to go talk to that association. And within weeks, we had lots of new clients because the association then allowed us to be promoted amongst all of their families. So you can easily do things and create partnerships which allow you to leverage into bigger networks and get seen by all of your target audience all at once. And that's what you want to be making a list of associations, sporting clubs, schools, kindies, preschools. Just think of, where do your ideal person go to? Where do they hang out? Are they part of groups, clubs? Do they play particular sports? Do they do other after-school activities? I was speaking up on the Gold Coast to a group that were all dance studio owners. So they ran dance classes, and we said the same thing to them. And so what other health professionals could you be talking to? And like 3/4 of the room just sort of banged themselves on the head and went, I've even got right next door to me a health professional. And it's just same thing. Health professionals, go find dance classes. They've got families in there. They're your target audience. So that's a real easy way through partnerships to be able to get more leverage into other people's networks, so you don't have to go and find people one by one by one by one.
Yeah, perfect. And do you think, just as a difference, do you think that the partnerships take a bit more time, a bit more nurturing than the teams?
Not necessarily. So it all depends on the people and who you've got around you. It always just comes back to how quickly can you just go build some trust. And as soon as you build some trust, and it doesn't have to be huge amounts of trust, just a little bit of trust, you can then do the first thing to help one another. If it goes well, the trust gets even bigger, and away you go from there. So I'd be doing both at the same time.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that. I love that. There's some really valuable advice there, Michael. Thank you so much for that. That's really great.
Absolute pleasure. And what popped up before, referralmarketingguru.com.au/resources is where they could get that training manual.
Ah, perfect. Very good. Thanks for mentioning that. That is really valuable. I encourage anyone who is listening to this to go there and download that manual. It's a really great way to actually also understand a little bit more, how can I provide value and how can I get this started? So definitely highly recommend it. Michael, what's going on with you over the next couple of years or 12 months? Like, where do you want to go? What's your next step?
Yeah, probably our big thing is we continue. This is our first time into London in a couple of weeks, so that's exciting as we branch out into the UK and do more there as we continue to grow the US and as well as Australia and New Zealand. So it's just nothing new. Just continuing to consolidate and become further known, I suppose is the word. But the big part under all of that, as we hashtag it all the time, is impact, and just continuing to be able to make an impact for the people we've got around us, the people that we get to talk to, people who get to listen to us, so that they can go out and take one or two little things, change their business around, and really be able to make an impact themselves for the people that they've got around them.
Yeah, really walking good talk there.
Nah, thank you.
Very good, very good. Well, Michael, look, thank you so much for joining in today. It was such a pleasure having you, and I'm sure I'm already excited to increase my referral systems and my referral activities now, and I'm sure everyone who's listening is as well. So thank you very much for taking the time and being on the podcast. Absolute pleasure. Really looking forward to hearing from yourself the great things that your community is doing, and being able to just take one or two things. There was an awful lot there, and if you just focused on one or two little things, you can get traction very quickly, and that's what we would love to hear that has happened. But absolute pleasure jumping on. Perfect. I think that's very important to mention, that to take just one or two things, start with that, and run with that before we all get overwhelmed again, because it's very, very easy to do. I also encourage everyone to subscribe to the podcast as usual. We will have the next episode next week. Make sure you do that. And with that said, I say tschüss and see you all next week. If you would like to find out more about what Michael does, head to www.referralmarketingguru.com.au.
The link for Michael's website and social profiles are in the show notes, so check them out. Don't forget to subscribe to the Influential Wellnesspreneur podcast so you don't miss an episode and get involved in our social community. We look forward to seeing you next week when we interview our next inspiring wellnesspreneur. Until then, have fun.